This is everybody's day. This is everybody's day.
I didn't wait for them to come and pick me. I took bike 1K bike at 11:30 to go for the vigil. I wanted to have an abundance of sacrifices so that Jesus can afflict their souls. The testimony of many of these young ones is that they have a prayer life. That's where the problem is. What does your prayer life look like? I join 4 online prayers in the morning. I start here. And you know that those people are not constant people. They move around based on the emphasis of the prayer meeting. So what are they doing there? Is how to make money. I have money already. His wife I'm looking for. So they look for one that has wife and they flip. Is it wrong to seek interventions? No. So we don't have any issue against morning prayers. But the utterances as by God predicted an event that will happen in how many years? 5 years. So it is not spiritually balanced. That's the most non-derogatory word I can use. There are other words that would draw me into trouble. But it's not spiritually balanced to judge an utterance that was predicted to take place in 5 years. You cannot see it. You are not a watchman. You can't judge it. You can't see it. And the fear with which the utterances were dispensed was the sight that the watchman was permitted by mercy to see, knowing that if he did not announce because of the fear of the people, their blood will be in his hands. Because a day will come when fathers will no longer be able to cover their families. A day will come when the average minister will become so busy, and the things that we used to do for people will be done. I was telling somebody who called me. He said, I spoke to my pastor about this thing. I think it was marital issues. And the pastor said, he works. And I said, see, let me tell you a secret. When a pastor says he works, that's the will of God. Go and pray. Oh. Pastor has his own problems. Sometimes he discharges you with a positive word because he doesn't want you to disturb him. So when I tell some of you, I'm going to spend time to pray, and by the following morning you are saying that thing, and I write in bold letters with exclamation marks, patience, is because I want to find truth before I speak to you. Many ministers are not spiritual to be spontaneous, as is demonstrated. It's just a discharge mechanism. May God give you understanding. Give me Galatians 6, 2. Oh yeah, quickly. Bear you one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. That's the ministry of seeking counsel. 6. Okay, let's go from, I think 5 is what I need. Is it 5? 4. He said we should bear each other's burdens. But Paul is also saying that pay the price of finding God. My auntie, the one who raised me in the university, and I was telling her this afternoon, she's over 50, but she looks like a 30-year-old. So I had to tell auntie, what's this thing? She has not answered, but if she's hearing now, I need an answer. She sent me a message and said, I saw this online. And what dropped in my heart was, auntie's afraid for me. I now sent her a voice note. Auntie, don't be afraid. It's just, it's the fear of God that's making us talk like that. Auntie now said, Aburo, I'm not afraid for you. I'm afraid for myself. I know what I used to be with God. I cannot claim that I am no longer praying because there are systems I join that occasion miracles that cannot be doubted, but I cannot say that I still hear God. I cannot say that if I need to source counsel from God, I still understand the protocols. It's been long. The height of the prayer experiences in the New Testament is not results, it's fellowship. And one of the signs that you are in fellowship is that there is a progressive deformation, which Paul refers to as conformity to the image of Christ. We were not saved just to be getting from him. And so we celebrate it. It's a whole lot of sacrifice to be up in the morning to lead prayers and to do it on behalf of people. So we celebrate those who are doing early morning prayers. And that discourse was not about them. When the day of those doing early morning prayers comes, Jesus will speak through me or speak to another person. Because we have researched and found out that some people God sent them. Some people think it's a way to make money. And I'm saying some people. Some people God sent them. Some people felt, oh, we can also make money. I just heard 2 days ago that some people are doing it because they don't want their church members to join the existing ones. They own them in the physical, but they also want to own them online. It's a sad day. What we are saying to those who do early morning prayers is that what our fathers call devotion is wider than that. That experience is not what our fathers called a prayer life. Because the true prayer life is a life of prayer. It embraces, that's what we do in the concept of prayer. It embraces more than the act of prayer. There is the posture of prayer that even if my mouth and my heart is not moving, God knows that I am in expectation. There is the answer of prayer. There is the result of prayer. There is also the reward of prayer, which does not look like your answer. It's something else God begins to do to you because you are. There is also the product of prayer, and it's a man likened unto Christ. He that walketh with the wise shall be. So if you pray long, one of the proofs of prayer is that your life will express a wisdom that is after the order of the person you are praying to. Not swear to. I told them in Ilorin, if you pray long, you will physically twist. I know some people start with twistedness, but there is a possibility of twisting if you agonize in prayer. But ensure that your heart twists before your body twists, so that the change, because the twisting is a bending. Prayer positions you in the direction of the true light, like a bean seed planted by the window. It will bend, but make sure that the bending starts from within and not from without. If not, time will test every man's work. And that's what we are saying. You will find out that we will show up, and like I told them, or like I want to announce, that sermon is last year April. I don't know why it was silent last year. Maybe it's because of the urgency that God has exhumed it. I have a little understanding of the working knowledge of God. There are things that he brings as emphasis that may be against the norm, but only the wise will yield. He knows what he's doing. And that's why hell cannot quench the travel of that thing. It will stay in people's eyes. The calls I got from UK yesterday were not warnings. They were like, his elder sister saw it and said, Kai, this thing is true. I challenge you, if you have ever had a sound walk with God, you will believe me. Only those who have tasted fellowship with God can believe what we are saying. But every man will come to the same conclusion. It was 5 years, it's 4 years now, and we are still counting. Pastor Judah, do you get this pray for me things on Facebook messages? Now people just pick my number and send me direct WhatsApp message. I have this problem. Pray for me. I asked one of them, how many hours have you prayed on this thing? He said, I cannot even pray. I said, me, I can't spend my life wasting praying for people who think they are not troubled enough to pray. If any man be afflicted, let him. Maybe you can't do kappa. Sit down and say, God, I am in trouble. You will not owe money. I said you will not owe money. There is no specialized way of praying when you owe money. Sometimes the only thing you'll be saying, Jesus, ha, no, Shanum is long. Sometimes it's only Anu, mercy. Oh, mercy. After a while, you will go and it will become, oh, ha, oh. I went with a friend to a meeting, and the pastor said, a prayer is not specific, there is no answer. So I was waiting for what he was saying. That all these prayers, Baba, Oluwa, it's not prayer. So I now whispered to my friend, a younger friend. I said, don't believe him. Inside the sermon, I said he read a book on prayer. I'm at a loss for words. And oh, my heart sings. Hey, kamamele fesona faraha tombe bibite. Lena mo kabasa sisemele di tabakalia tobehana. My heart sings. Of prayer goes beyond interventions. I told my wife this afternoon, we cannot advise those who are leading the prayers to start teaching prayer, because that's not the aim. But I came from a family that used to do morning devotion, and I understand the purpose of a morning devotion, that it is a threefold cord of spiritual reality, of the word, and of prayer. Are you with me? There must be clearly seen the entrance of people into a person's specific fellowship with God, because when they got saved, I know it's not in scriptures, but pastors have added personal to the mandate of salvation. Today I accept you as my personal Lord and Savior. The future of the church will thrive on the personal motions, on the ability of believers to sense the personal motions of the Spirit. I've also found out that energy is not the only thing that God has in helping people. It also comes by wisdom. And that wisdom must be something that you have fellowship with, so that you can know it when it is spoken. The demand for headship is great. Marriages are collapsing now in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. I asked a casual question somewhere. I said, do you believe that this person you married, I said, is the person that you married, does the person have a fellowship with God? The person said, I believe. You believe? How many years did you cut? 4 years plus. And you believe? You know what I believe means? Somehow. Sisters, you need to backtest your would-be husband's hearing capacity. You need to bring before them answers that you have and create them as questions, so that the man struggles to find the voice of God. You cannot be under a man who cannot hear God, even if he's an engineer. You will suffer. Brothers, Because we are breadwinners, sometimes we grow weak in our bodies. And with weakened bodies comes a dulling of spiritual sensitivity. That's why the enemy affects your body.